Welcome to Awardco's first Culture Quarterly of 2024. At the beginning of this year, we held our company kickoff. Because of our partnership with the Utah Jazz, we were able to host this meeting at the Delta Center. Seeing our employees in one space like that and reflecting how much we've grown over the years was an experience I'll never forget. We gathered and talked about the past, and most importantly, the future. And we discussed our bold new vision for Awardco. Our vision is to become the world's most positive platform, empowering people everywhere to recognize the good, incentivize improvement, and reward greatness. In 2023, we had over 15 million recognitions on the platform. That means on average, someone around the world was recognized every 2 seconds for the value they bring. These recognitions matter because there are so many people out there who don't feel that sense of connection. They might feel lost and they want to belong. When people feel seen and appreciated, they'll start to show up. They'll be more engaged and they'll contribute even more. I truly believe that. 15 million recognitions in 1 year is only the beginning. We're on a mission to become the world's most positive platform, and we invite you to join us in spreading that positivity wherever you are. We're looking forward to a really exciting year of growth in 2024. We're laser focused and we're making sure we come ready to work every day and build something amazing. In our company kickoff, we talked about how we're going to accomplish our goals, and it boils down to a mantra we've adopted in 2024: bring your A game. To us, bringing our A game every day means doing our best to prepare and be ready to work. It means dedicating ourselves to helping you recognize the good, incentivize improvement, and reward greatness in your own organizations. It means treating every day like it's day one, and we show up ready to do our best. There are a lot of ways we bring our A game, and our product team is a fantastic example of that. Today, I'm excited to have our head of product design, Dylan Winspear, give us a peek into upcoming product releases. Keep your eyes open for one of my favorite features we've released, A-Pay debit cards.
Hey there, I'm Dylan Winspear, Head of Product Design here at Awardco. I'm excited to join you today and share with you some of the hot dishes coming out of the Awardco kitchen. We're dedicated to building something that touches every step of the employee journey in positive ways. To be part of something like that has potential to impact the lives of so many, is a real blessing. To that end, I'm ecstatic to show you the product updates that will help you be a force for good in your work and in the lives of your employees. First up, let's explore Auto Budget Reload, a feature designed to streamline the process of managing your budgets. The previous experience of loading budgets wasn't the best. Admins had to manually refill budgets in a time-consuming process packed with headaches and issues, especially for clients who had a large number of budgets that needed to be updated regularly. In addition, many of our clients that wanted to run a manager-to-peer recognition program but wanted every manager to have their own budget based on the size of their team ran up against major roadblocks with the old process. It just wasn't feasible to expect admins to manually add and remove budgets with manager churn and manually calculate how much each manager should have in their budget based on team size. It's exhausting to even say out loud. Now with Auto Budget Reload, admins can set up automatic budget refills based on their preferred cadence and budget amount. Whether you prefer a flat amount reload or a reload based on the number of direct reports, Auto Budget Reload takes the guesswork out of budget management, ensuring that your budgets are always replenished on time. We've taken an old, frustrating manual process and turned it into an automated system that works alongside you for a seamless experience. I know it will save you a ton of time and resources and a bunch of stress. Auto Budget Reload is coming very, very soon. We're in the final stages of testing to ensure it's an experience that will make your life easier, allowing you to focus on what's really important, your employees. Next, let's dive deep into our manager dashboards, a powerful tool that puts valuable insights at your fingertips. We built this feature with you, our admins, in mind. We wanted to empower you to help managers be more involved with recognition on their individual teams, effectively removing the burden to get better adoption from managers. Essentially, our new manager dashboards provide managers with a comprehensive view of their team's engagement with Awardco, lowering the amount of reports that a manager needs to pull in order to understand how their team is using the platform. It gives managers a quick, digestible overview of their team's engagement and can help them strategize on how to improve it. Manager dashboards provide easy to understand data about how teams are using Awardco. It gives a quick look into recognitions given and received, top recognition givers and receivers, how points are moving through the system, and so much more. Manager dashboards are intuitive for anyone using them. These are faces they will recognize and immediately know how to take action at a glance. The great part is that the more managers dive in, the more information they'll get. These new dashboards empower managers to foster a culture of appreciation and recognition within their teams, and to have the data to do it better than ever before. Taking a big step back, these manager dashboards are the first step in our new role-based dashboard feature, which allows an admin to configure different dashboards for different roles. While manager dashboards contain analytics relevant to managers, our upcoming admin dashboards will have metrics geared towards admin audiences. We're hoping to build these new admin dashboards out later this year. Now, if you're wondering when this manager dashboard will be available, I'm thrilled to say that it's available right now. Finally, we've saved the best for last, a game changer in the recognition space, the APay debit card. APay directly links your Awardco point balance to either a virtual or physical debit card, giving you the flexibility to spend your points just like dollars on qualified purchases. Whether your program allows for things like subscriptions, gym memberships, health and wellness initiatives, or even broader employee perks like dining out or making online purchases. We've highlighted this feature once before, last year in ACQ, but the full scope and power of APay, coupled with our other features like our lifestyle spending accounts and smart award networks, needs to be seen. We're just really excited about it, and we want to show you how it works, so come with me. First stop, the gym. I've loaded my APay debit card as the payment on my gym membership, with points awarded every month from our lifestyle spending account program, so that I will always have the points needed to cover gym fees. And just like that, my workout is done. And I thought I could bring some ice cream back to the office for my team, and not just any ice cream. I want something special. So we're going to the Yard, an ice cream shop started by an Awardco employee. APay can be used just like a regular debit card, or let it live in your phone's digital wallet. Nobody has to worry about paperwork, reimbursements, or paybacks with the APay cards. It's all in the system. No paperwork for employees, and no headaches for admins. APay is amazing, and we've just scratched the surface. Your APay card can be configured for online purchases, dining out, subscriptions like Netflix, and so much more. It gives you nearly limitless redemption options, and admins have full control over what it can be spent on. Hopefully that gives you an exciting glimpse into APay. We've been hard at work packaging this up, but we've been using it internally since the holidays, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty great. APay will be available in both digital and physical formats very soon. Keep an eye out in our Awardco Minute, our bi-weekly newsletter, to hear when these features are available. You can expect this in the next couple of months, so get excited. Thank you for your time and allowing us to share our exciting products. We're dedicated to creating tools that enhance your work and make the journey more rewarding for all your employees. Until next time.
I love seeing the innovative things that our product team builds to make recognition even more rewarding. APay debit cards are just one example, and it's amazing to think about where we'll go from here. Next up, we have a special treat for you, a highlight of our first of many partnership webinars, where we showcase how Awardco is teaming up with other leading industry companies to supercharge the impact of recognition in organizations everywhere. Today's highlight is with our UK-based partner, ScreenCloud. Awardco's partnership with ScreenCloud helps organizations build a culture of recognition for employees on the front line, even though that can be challenging when there isn't regular engagement with company communication. How does this integration work? It's pretty simple. With Awardco and ScreenCloud, you can tie your recognition feed into your technology around your organization, effectively creating an omni-channel recognition feed. It means recognition is more visible, and that can help drive behavior and showcase the benefits of recognition even more in your company. So let's dive in and learn a little more.
My name is Bronson Dameron. I'm the Director of Content. I'm hopping in here today and I'll be speaking with Joe Rice, the VP of Partnerships on ScreenCloud. Joe, if you could introduce yourself a little bit, give us a little bit of your background and help us get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, sounds great. I appreciate the opportunity to join you folks. So I'm Joe Rice. I head up partnerships at ScreenCloud. In short, we're a cloud-based digital signage solution helping organizations improve communication and engagement with their employees. And we tend to focus and help a lot with organizations with large frontline or deskless workers who don't have access, lack access to desktops and mobile apps when they're doing their daily job. And thus our tie-up integration partnership with Awardco. So I've spent the last 5 or 6 months getting the integration ready, and which it is now, which is exciting. So excited to be here and talk about that and the importance ultimately of getting recognition up on screens so everyone can see it.
Joe, I'm curious, when you think of frontline, how do you define frontline in terms of in a professional setting?
Yeah, we tend to use the term deskless, but frontline works. But those are just folks who don't sit at a desk or in front of a computer all day or at all. They tend to work on a manufacturing floor, a warehouse. They could be wandering around. They could be in medicine at a hospital. But they get information through other means than a computer in most cases. So that the challenge is, how do you reach folks and communicate with them when they're wandering around a building or a campus for most of their day?
Yeah, and I think that I read a study, maybe you can corroborate this. I read a study a few months back that said that a vast majority of workers around the world are not attached to a computer. And maybe that's like unsurprising in some respects, so that it's, well, yeah, most people aren't in front of a computer. But I'd still think that that's worth mentioning, that so many people aren't connected to a computer daily and they need other ways to experience recognition.
That's right. Yeah. Most estimates arrive around that 80% number. So 80% of the global workforce, is not desk-based. And when you dive into that more, it's fascinating. We talk a lot about technology to make us more efficient. AI is all the craze now, and how will that change jobs and make us more productive and whatnot. But up until this point, anyway, only about 1% of corporate enterprise IT spend has actually been focused on technologies for deskless workers. So we have this giant workforce, 80% of the workforce, give or take, and yet there hasn't been a lot of investment in their productivity and communicating to them. So I think that's quite interesting.
How do you set up the recognition on TVs, and how do you get the text to the recognition text on there? How does that specifically work, and is it difficult? Is it rather simple to kind of engage with? What does that look like?
Yeah, so excuse me. For time, I'll give you the very abridged version, but basically, with ScreenCloud, we're a content management system that allows you to manage content and create content and then cast it, to push it to screens. And we have a little player app that you would download onto screens, very much as you do with Netflix or Disney Plus. At that point, once we have a connection to the screen, we can then share that content or push that content down to the screen, if you will. In terms of our integration with Awardco, once you're a customer of both, we simply have a little key, a secret key that you would input, and that would allow us then to make that connection. And then what we can do is based on the location, make sure we're pushing the right recognitions to the right screens. Obviously, you don't want to recognize people in the Canadian office that are actually based in Mexico, or you give me some idea.
We appreciate your attendance. Thank you for all your questions and your comments and your participation. And we hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
When you're ready to turn on the ScreenCloud integration, let us know by contacting your CSM. And keep an eye out for even more webinars like this featuring our other partners we work with. One in particular is our alliance with industry-leading research firm Deloitte, which we'll continue to highlight in future partner webinars and ACQ events. In the HR world, there's a lot of talk about the employee journey. How can we make sure employees are taken care of at every step? There's a lot of information about this topic, but one thing that is overlooked is how to connect the dots, how to take your knowledge and apply it, and take all the information to the final mile. In a recent discussion, we talked about recognition and the employee journey, and I'd like to show you some of that conversation with some leaders in the space.
I would love to have you both introduce yourselves. Laura, if we could start with you.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm Laura Shanley, and I have spent the last almost, 19 years in the employee engagement, employee communications, employee experience space. And specifically in the last 5 years, I've really been focused on employee recognition. And so that's been a really fulfilling experience, and it's really fun to see companies build their culture of recognition. And so I've worked with several companies to develop, create, implement, transform recognition programs. And that's what I'm currently doing, is doing consulting in this space.
Thank you for that introduction. Christy, how about yourself? Would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure, I'm so glad to be here. I have an extensive career in employee engagement and experience and recognition. I like to think of myself as kind of a Willy Wonka of the employee experience, really thinking about ways you can build culture and delight people and make them feel seen and heard and valued in terms of who they are outside of their work as well. And so I've been so fortunate to partner with Laura on culture initiatives, communication initiatives, global initiatives to really support the employee experience. And I do think so much of the secret of that experience is that recognition piece. And I'm really excited to talk about how to weave that recognition into every part of the employee journey today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction. What you mentioned about the employee journey encompassing things outside of the workplace, how might an HR leader or a leader address that within the workplace? Because you can't control everything, and nor should you try, but what are some ways you can address that?
Yeah, I think as we look at some of the thought leaders today, like when people listen to Brene Brown and she talks about vulnerability and that connection and seeing the whole person. And so I think the most successful managers that I've seen and I've worked for have understood that if there are milestones that I'm going through as an employee, if I'm going through a family change or a family loss or a time where I really want to grow my career or work on a specific skill, if my manager is walking with me through those changes, through those times in my life, and understands how to best coach me and help me be the best person that I am in that environment, that just breeds so much loyalty across my journey. And I would say even the best managers would help your employees or get a job outside of your department, even outside of your company. If you're truly interested in the development of someone's career and who they are as a whole person, it's not just about the task that they're in at this moment. And that pays dividends. We're all moving so quickly. We're moving to different jobs, different companies. Just Laura and I have worked together in so many different incarnations, right? And so keeping those relationships across your career benefits you as a person and as a leader as you move across your own career.
Laura, what about you? What would you add to that? How can leaders recognize during recruitment?
Well, I think about it as, in the context of recognition and building the culture of recognition, right? So if you're doing that inside of your company, and those employees are having a good experience, and to your point, oftentimes the best employees come from referrals, right? So you want employees to be talking about your company, to be referring their friends, but a tangible example of that is the way that your employees can present that culture to those outside of your company. So I recently had an experience where I went and I had a new doctor, and she was lovely. And I told 3 people how lovely this new doctor was. And then I was even inclined to go, onto their Google and write a nice review for them. And so, because of that culture that they're building internally, it's extending, right? And now I'm doing the work for them. I'm writing a great review for them.
I want to give you each, Laura and Christy, an opportunity to have some last words about recognition and about engagement and how it can really impact culture, or whatever you might say about that to the people here on the webinar to help them in their own work. Christy, we'll start with you.
Sure. I would say it's hard to know where all of you are on your journey of either tuning up a recognition program or looking at launching one or making it better. But I think one thing that's really crucial is whoever you have in that role, the team you have in that role, has to be true believers. I think what's made Laura and me so successful in this program is that we deeply believe in recognition. We practice it. We've seen how transformative it is, and we have a lot of energy around that. So as you think about who to put on the team to launch a program like Awardco or launch a recognition program and think about all of the pieces of it, choose someone who really is willing to be at the front of the line and walk the walk.
When it comes to recognition, you will run into naysayers, right? You'll run into people that doesn't really matter. I don't need to recognize people for just doing their job. And, this is fluffy stuff, but it's, when you have the data, you have this data that Bronson shared, it's not fluffy, right? It really does make an impact. It helps people be more engaged with the company, feel a sense of belonging with the company. There is really a lot of value in doing recognition well. So, and plus it can just be a lot of fun. I mean, when I'm working in a recognition space, it just feels like you get to be, I don't know, the fairy godmother or something. It's people give really positive feedback about how impactful it is for them to receive that recognition.
I really believe that recognition is what so many organizations need to take them from good to great. And that's why we're working so hard here at Awardco. I'm excited about the future. 2024 is going to be amazing. Keep your eyes on us because we're changing the world and the employee journey with what we're doing. And we can't do it without you. Your partnership, support, and feedback make us better. And I'm grateful for the chance to work with each of you. Thanks for attending our first Culture Quarterly of the year, and I'll see you at the next ACQ in June.